Okay, hello. So just a quick review on The Madness of Crowds by Douglasmurray. So I listened to this book on Audible just recently. It got very good reviews. I think it was 5 stars just about from a couple of thousand reviews, something like that. It's quite new, so I thought that was quite impressive. I thought I'd give it a go, and it sounded along the lines of something that I'd be interested in. I do a lot of reviews on personal development books normally, but I do read other stuff as well. I try and keep open-minded about the stuff that I read. I try and do different stuff, but I generally read about a couple of books a week, and I'll normally review them. So feel free to check out my other reviews under Tom Maguire. And I really just do it just kind of almost as a bit of a sort of online sort of diary for myself, really. I kind of get to look back over the stuff I've read and just remind myself, and talking about it just helps sort of cement it in my mind a little bit as well. But at the same time, I'm giving out sort of free information. Hopefully to the odd person it's helpful, just gives you a bit of an idea of whether you want to bother with the book or not. I know if I was looking for reviews on YouTube, I'd appreciate just a quick review like this. It just gives someone's opinion and just kind of confirms your kind of feelings that you already have probably. But anyway, I'll get on and review this book, The Madness of Crowds. So basically, we live in a world at the minute where we love to point fingers and tear people down, and there's this sort of political correctness debate going on where people are either furious about it and they can't stand political correctness, or they're absolutely living by it and kind of doing everything by the book, and it just gets, the bottom line is I think there's a middle common sense ground really that a lot of people seem to overlook, and actually there is a reason for a certain amount of it, that's why it came in to begin with, but people do abuse it, and who decides what we can and can't say? There is such a thing as freedom of speech. People are entitled to have an opinion. We need to be able to have debates about things. We need to be able to talk about things without feeling terrified that we're going to offend someone. Of course, we shouldn't be using flippant kind of dangerous language, to upset people and offend people if we know that. But when the goalposts are changing all the time, and one minute we're told one thing's okay, then it's not okay, then this is okay, you do understand why people get frustrated. It feels as though you're being told what to do all the time, and demanded that you say this or don't say that. And it does feel a little bit like we live in George Orwell's 1984, and actually it's a slippery slope. And if you listen to people like Jordan Peterson, he's done a lot of stuff on YouTube. He's great. He's a Canadian clinical psychologist. All his lectures are on YouTube, all free information. He did a book, 12 Rules for Life, and it's just quite refreshing just to hear someone talk in a fairly intelligent way about this sort of stuff. And he just talks about the danger of restricting what we can say, and when we go down that route of saying that someone, we're going to penalise someone or criminalise someone for saying something, well, actually that's a really slippery slope, and we need to be really careful of that. And in this book, Madness of Crowds, he just gives really good examples. Douglasmurray gives really good examples of where people have been really quite hypocritical in the public eye. One example is there was a woman in the Australian Parliament who started talking about mansplaining to a bloke she was talking to, and the bloke just turned around and kind of quite rightly, calmly and coolly kind of destroyed her for saying that, and she looked quite foolish. And this book's really good. Douglasmurray, The Madness of Crowds. Give it a go. Either listen to it on Audible or give it a read. It's worth a go. It's definitely, for me, it was nothing particularly new. It was stuff I kind of felt anyway, but it's worth a go.